Hey there, it's Hank from the Hanklish Podcast, and today we're diving into a super relatable topic. Why you understand English but can't speak it? I mean, how many times have you watched a TV show, understood every word, and then tried to speak in English and blanked? It's like your brain has a mute button for speaking, but it's all good with understanding. Sound familiar? Yeah, I thought so. Today, we're going to break it down and talk about what's really going on in your brain when this happens, and more importantly, how to fix it. Let's get into it. Okay, let's start with the basics. Understanding English feels like the easiest part, right? You watch movies, listen to podcasts, read news articles. You get what's going on, but as soon as you try to speak, it's like your tongue forgets how to move. And I'm not talking about just being shy or nervous. Nope. This is a common language learning phenomenon. You see, when you're listening to English or reading, your brain is in passive mode. You don't have to produce any words, you're just processing them. Speaking? That's a whole different game. It requires you to actively produce words, form sentences, and it feels like your brain short circuits sometimes. Trust me, I've been there. But why is this so hard? Why do we understand but can't speak? Well, here's the thing, your brain is lazy. Yup, it's always looking for the easiest way to do things. When you listen or read, it's like you're on autopilot, absorbing the information. Speaking, you're asking your brain to work a little harder and get those words out of your mouth, and it's not always ready for that kind of commitment. Now, let's talk about your brain for a second. Have you ever heard of language input versus language output? It's kind of like learning to drive a car. You can read the manual all day long and understand how everything works. But the real challenge comes when you sit behind the wheel and have to drive in traffic. The manual is easy to read. The road is full of surprises. Language input, like listening or reading, is way easier than language output, speaking or writing. Studies show that speaking requires your brain to do multiple things at once. You have to pull from your vocabulary, follow grammar rules, pronounce words correctly, and organize your thoughts. It's like running a race with a million obstacles. Your brain has to be on its A game. So, if your brain isn't used to that speaking process, it's going to freeze up sometimes. No surprise there, but we can fix it. All right, let's get to the juicy part. How can you go from I understand everything but can't say a word to I speak with confidence? I've got a few brain-friendly hacks for you. First up, shadowing. You've probably heard this term before, but let me break it down for you. Shadowing is when you repeat what you hear immediately. So if you're listening to a podcast, maybe this one, pause it after a sentence and repeat what I just said. It feels a little goofy, but it works. You're literally tricking your brain into practicing speaking. Without even thinking about it, you're not translating, you're speaking the language. Next, start small. Don't try to speak in full sentences right away. Begin with simple phrases or vocabulary you know well. When I was learning Spanish, I'd say hola or gracias every chance I got. The more you speak, the easier it gets. And trust me, your brain will get used to producing words instead of just understanding them. And here's another big one. Talk to yourself. Now, I know it sounds like a weird tip, but it works. You can start with simple self-talk. For example, describe your day to yourself in English. I woke up, I had breakfast, I'm recording my podcast now. You're practicing the words you'll actually use in real conversations. Plus, it feels way less intimidating than talking to someone else, and your brain gets used to speaking in real time. Now, let's talk about the real thing holding you back. Confidence. If you don't believe you can speak, your brain won't believe it either. I get it, it's tough. But you know what? You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to speak like a native speaker. The goal is communication. And the more you practice, the more comfortable you'll feel. And trust me, your brain will catch up. Speaking is a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. Don't worry about mistakes. Heck, I make mistakes all the time. The important part is trying. Every time you speak, you're getting closer to fluency. All right, so now you've got the facts. Understanding English is easy, but speaking it takes practice, confidence, and a little brain hack magic. Start shadowing, talk to yourself, and get comfortable speaking, even if you mess up. And hey, let me know what works for you. Drop me a comment or send a message. What's your biggest speaking challenge? Let's talk about it. Thanks for tuning in to the Hanklish Podcast. Until next time, keep speaking, keep practicing, and most importantly, don't be afraid to make mistakes, because every mistake is just another step to fluency. Before we go, let's review some of the phrases we talked about today. Here's one. To freeze up. This means when you get nervous or stuck and can't think or speak. Example, I froze up during the presentation and I couldn't get the words out. Or how about to bridge the gap? That means finding a way to connect two things. So, to bridge the gap between understanding English and speaking it, we need to practice speaking. All right, that's all for today's episode. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe for more English tips that will take you from understanding to speaking fluently. See you next time.